That big boss less special. It ain't no game, but they saying welcome to the second level. Second level. Second level gaming. Second level.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to Level 2. It is me, Tom, half of Level 2. The other half is doing God knows whatever the other half does. Keegan is not with us this week for this particular section or for Bargain Basement, so it's just me. Sorry, you gotta deal with it. Here I am. So we're going to dig right into the VR section today. It is Friday, therefore that is a VR day. And for VR, we have a lot of great news this week, some really cool stuff. So I'd love to start with this, which is the surprise release of the day. As of recording, it's Tuesday, which means that it's New Game Day, which is why we decide to do this on Tuesday usually, because it's the most, fresh you're going to get. And today, literally out of the ether, they dropped a brand new game for VR, and that game is a pretty hefty franchise. It's one that everyone will be familiar with, and that is Ghostbusters. So Keegan actually texted me this morning while I was playing some Mass Effect and said, "Hey, Ghostbusters on VR, $7." And I was like, fuck yes, get me on that train. So I checked the trailer, it looked great, I picked it up, I haven't played it yet, I'm excited to try it. But yeah, out of the blue, Ghostbusters VR, $7, got released this week. So if you haven't seen that yet, or you didn't notice that, then that's a thing you now know, and go and pick it up. $7, you can't argue. It's Ghostbusters, man, it's gonna be great. And then I would love to go through the deals for this week, because it's a surprising amount of deals for VR games. And I know that a lot of you guys are always like begging for VR game deals. They don't show up an awful lot. So there's a ton this week that we can talk about. First of all, Here They Lie, which is the horror game. It's one of those weird games you have to kind of turn in a weird direction. It's like 30 degree angle, 60 degree angle, whatever. Here They Lie, though, is a creepy ass game if you've never played it. So I do recommend it if you like horror. $20 down to just $11. So $11 for Here They Lie if you're waiting on that game. Now it's time to pick it up. Secondarily, you have Bound. Bound is a game we've played before on the channel. I don't think we ever showed you the VR gameplay footage we have. It got a little weird. Sometimes we just play games and we just can't show you the footage. But Bound is really cool in VR. It's a very interesting experience, very unique. They fixed the camera for it. There was this weird thing where you had to press forward on the left stick to get behind the character. And in VR, that's super fucking annoying. So they made it so you could have a fixed camera and mess with all the usual sort of smoothness controls and everything. But Bound is $20 down to $11, which I think is a great deal to pick that game up, because you can play it in both normally or in VR, so it's got a sort of double worth to it. Eagle Flight, that's another one of those games that you hear great things about. It's a multiplayer game, so if you're into trying to get some multiplayer going in VR, it's a good time. Everyone likes, VR flight simulator stuff. So Eagle Flight is $40 down to $28. That's Ubi as well. So that's Ubi throwing their wings out there literally and saying, hey, we're supporting VR, take a look at it. So check it out, Eagle Flight. Werewolves Within, which is another one of those games that everyone's kind of like, oh, be on sale, otherwise I won't buy you, is $30 down to $21. Not a gigantic difference, but enough to push a few of you guys over the edge, I think. So Werewolves Within is, of course, based on a tabletop game where basically you're sat around in a circle and you have to kind of predict which one of you, well, not predict, I suppose, but figure out which one of you is the wolf in sheep's clothing. And it's a really good time from what I understand. I've not actually played it because honestly, I had this weird thing in my brain, and this is getting weird and personal, but I have this weird thing in my brain that makes me think that if I sit down in a weird social setting in VR, it's going to be creepy, I'm not going to enjoy it, and then there's going to be weirdos, and I just don't know if I can do it. I know Keegan could do it, so I'm just going to make him do it. The one game I am really excited about going on sale, though, is Headmaster. Headmaster is one of my favorite games on PSVR. They just released a whole bunch of new party modes for free, and that is $20 down to $14. Just $14 for Headmaster. So if you were waiting for a time to buy it, now's the time to buy it. And the last of the bunch is this has been on sale pretty consistently since launch, is Unearthing Mars, $15 down to $13.50 if you have a PS Plus account. And that's, it It is what it is. I think Headmaster is the most exciting one there. I do know that Eagle Flight and Werewolves are two games that people have got on their kind of wish lists, and they're usually like waiting for a little bit more of an incentive, so they're big. Here They Lie and Bound are probably the biggest discounts, or the most interesting ones, and those are also pretty cool. So there you go. Bunch of games on sale this week, alongside, don't forget, Ghostbusters, $7. So let's talk about news in VR. It's been quite a lot going on this week. One of the most interesting pieces of news to come out so far is about the world's first interactive VR TV show. This is a TV show called Trinity, and there's an Engadget kind of had this thing about it, talking about this thing. It's going to be released on all VR headsets, so not just PSVR, but also Oculus and the Vive as well. It's going to be, I think they said it was going to be 5 15-minute segments or something like that, like that'll make up the whole series, and it's fully done in VR. So they've designed the TV show with you in mind, in terms of they want you to be a part or inside or feel like you're inside of the TV show. But it's a sci-fi thing about like where humans have been wiped out and you're like with the robot resistance fighting back and all this kind of madness. So there should be lots of, lasers and robots and whatnot. It's a really neat idea. Like, I've always wanted VR to be something that I could, I like, we talked about it last week. I loved watching 3D movies in VR. I thought they were great. If I could actually be in the fucking movie, then I'm sold. Like, I don't care how much it costs, put me in it. I would love to be able to experience that. So the fact that they're actually putting some stuff to use here, there is a trailer available. The show, again, is called Trinity. So just type in Trinity VR trailer and you'll probably find it, and or I'll put it in the description, and check that out. It's obviously not going to be quite the same thing when you're watching a trailer not in VR, but I think that the concept, the idea is there, which is sort of worth looking at. So that's the big news. Alongside that, you have Sony returning the favor to Vive. So we talked about this last week. Vive Studios said that they are going to start releasing games for VR headsets other than the Vive, which is really nice of them to do that. A lot of companies wouldn't bother doing that. There doesn't seem to be much in terms of incentive, other than helping VR grow and potentially getting more revenue from just having it on more systems. So Vive have gone out and said that they're going to release these Vive Studio games for all consoles. Sony recently showcased some of their music stuff, because as we know, Sony's a big fan of music. They have their own kind of recording studio stuff and recording company, and they have released a couple experiences on PSVR so far. You have the Joshua Bell VR experience, and then also the Kygo experience, and they showcased their VR music videos with a Vive. I don't know if that was like a thank you to Vive for saying that they were going to release stuff for the PSVR, or if it was just that the Vive they thought would be better to showcase these things with. But interesting that Sony wouldn't use their own hardware to showcase these music videos. So clearly they're thinking about putting them on, they are possible to be put on other VR headsets. So again, it's sort of a nice look at the VR industry and how there does appear to be a lot of like olive branches being thrown out there so that everyone can help it grow. It is a hard industry to be a part of right now. It is the tippy top of cutting edge of what is available for gamers, and it's kind of awesome that these companies are doing this. So as Keegan said, your move, Sony. Well, Sony made their move. There you go. Robinson the Journey got a price drop, and Robinson the Journey, if you haven't played it, you're like a boy, there's dinosaurs, there's puzzles. It's okay. It made me violently sick within 20 minutes or so. I don't know if they ever fixed the camera stuff going on with it, but I just couldn't deal with it. It could have been because I didn't have my VR legs properly at that point in time. I'd like to go back now since I played the whole of Resident Evil 7 and sort of see if I feel better in Robinson. But it is definitely a dodgy game to play. It was one of the first games that came out for VR that touted itself as being worthy of the $60 price tag, which a lot of people sort of scoffed at because it wasn't very long. I think it's 4 to 6 hours. And they dropped the price on it, I think, as a way of saying, okay, maybe it's not worth $60. But here's the sucky part. They dropped it by $10. So if you were thinking you were going to pick up Robinson for $30, sorry, it's $50. So that's the physical copy. But if you managed to pre-order it on Amazon, like moi, you would have picked it up for $32. So depending on how quick you were on that, I don't think it's worth it for $50. I'll be honest. We get to be honest on this show because we're not endorsed by anyone, which is kind of cool. I don't think it's worth $50. So unless you can get it for cheaper than $30, I would stay away. 1 second. I have a scratchy throat and I'm doing all this talking. It hurts. So So, it was cheaper on Amazon pre-order. It's still not worth $50. Nice try, but no cigar. Here's one of the weirdest pieces of news this week. Bandai Namco, they created this game in Japan called Summer Lessons. Summer Lessons is a VR game where basically you have like a tutor, I suppose, like sort of a senior Japanese schoolgirl that teaches you stuff. I honestly have no idea, because I don't speak Japanese clearly. I don't know like what the point of the game is, like whether it's like to teach you actual stuff, like it's a real virtual tutor to teach you how to do math and stuff, or whether it's just to kind of stare at this Japanese girl and feel weird about it, which is how I imagine most people that play that game to be. But either way, Bandai Namco are now offering a full size, and by full size I mean 5'2", 5'2" doll of the character Hikari Miyamoto from Summer Lessons, and it's just basically like a sort of short Japanese girl in a Japanese girl uniform, and she's gigantic at $23,000. So if you really are a fan of Summer Lessons, and you'd have to be, you can now buy a full life-size 5'2" doll of your favorite teacher, Hikari Miyamoto, for $23,000 if you happen to have that kicking around. And that's a fucking collector's edition right there. You ain't messing with that. But yeah, that's the thing that happened this week. Now you know that. Farpoint news. Farpoint's so close. Everyone's excited for Farpoint. It's the make or break for the PSVR in a lot of people's minds. For me, I think we've already made it. I don't think we have to worry about it. But Farpoint is definitely one of those games that are on a lot of people's radar, and they're just releasing like cooler news every week about it, and everyone's getting more and more pumped about it. And the thing they talked about this week was that there's actually going to be a decent amount emoting that can be done just based upon how they map the headset and the gun. So you can make like tilted head movements, and your co-op player would see those and be able to respond to them. You can, nod, and you can kind of, like shimmy with your gun, like let's go this way, or I imagine there might even, like, if Farpoint turns out to be one of those games that has like this weird following of like people trying to get the high scores and stuff, or speed runs, I imagine they might even develop some kind of weird body language like code, like a new code of like, this means whatever, this means, when I shake my gun 3 times to the left, it means let's flank left, or something like that. But the fact that there's supposedly an amazing cinematic campaign, single player. We're talking, they said, anywhere from 4 to 8 hours, depending on how good you are. Now they have co-op in there too, which is a whole separate entity, as we know, to the main campaign. It's a lot more arcadey, a lot more silly. Not as many kind of like clutch or pearl moments that you would have in the single player. But the fact that you have these kind of emotes in there, and you can see your buddy, and like, especially if you're playing with randos, it's always fun. I'm really excited about this game. The pre-orders are now available. You can get it for like $63. You can pre-order it with the AIM peripheral. So definitely go out there, take a look at that, support that game, because it looks incredible. Moving on, Headmaster party modes. We talked about Headmaster a little bit earlier being on sale at, what did I say? It was $14, down from $20. So Headmaster has announced that they have a bunch of new party modes for it. There's this gigantic update that came out, and of course, in typical Headmaster fashion, because they're such a cool company that made this game, they made it 100% free to anybody. So here's what you're going to get with your Headmaster: PS4 Pro enhancements. So they have able to turn the final rendered image up 2 times super sampling, which means that when you're looking at things that are like flying at your face from really far distances, it should be a lot more crisp now, and it should run at 90 frames per second on both PS4 and PS4 Pro. But on the Pro, it's supposedly noticeably sharper. And then we have a list of these awesome new party modes that have been included in there. So one of these is called Big Monkey, where you, I guess, have to like knock like a giant inflatable used car sale gorilla. Nothing else needs to be said. Robert's Room, where you have to play in a room with mini balls and targets and see if you can dislodge Robert from the toilet. There you go. Rock and Bowl, bowling redone with black lights and splatter paint, which sounds great. Basket Case, a newly done up basketball challenge. Speed Round 2, a new speed round with special surprises. Facility Tour, several classic levels all in one, quickly moving between them in a single level. Non-alcoholic Pong, classic Headmaster, non-beer Pong rearranged. Darts, it's still darts taped to soccer balls, like you'd expect. And Carnival, the Carnival Classic Exam remixed for party mode. So they also are allowing you to add initials, which is kind of like a random thing. But I guess because it's like they have a party mode, it's nice that you can actually treat it like almost like an arcade cabinet. Because Headmaster, it's one of those games. It's weird because I know that this country likes soccer, but I always think of it more as like people back home trying to beat each other's scores, like as that being a really great game for that. Growing up with football the way that we did, it's such a it's in your blood for everyone. So I really think that game, if it hasn't done amazing in England so far, and I honestly don't know, it should do. And party modes like this are just gonna make it infinitely better. To me, it's a Rocket League of VR. I think it's a small game, cheap. They put so much work into it. You don't have to use a fucking controller, which is the greatest thing ever. So really support that game if you can. Get Headmaster. There's all this new stuff. It's free, for fuck's sake. So just buy Headmaster. That's all I'm gonna say. Korix is finally got a release date. Korix is that game we talked about last week. It has 120 frame rate, which is super impressive for VR because you remember you're doubling that at least. So yeah, they're saying it's not going to skip a beat. 120 frames per second. That's the retro style RTS tower defense game. Lots of things. It looks like Battlezone, but kind of RTS tower defense-y. But it's got that sort of the aesthetic of Battlezone, if you will. But yeah, Korix, that's Korix, is released officially on March 28th, which shouldn't be too far after you watch this. So if you're interested in seeing what a game in VR looks like in 120 frames per second, that's your guy. I still don't have pricing on it yet, but March 28th is the release date, so keep your eye out for that. And then lastly, Starblood Arena confirmed to have a big single-player campaign. Starblood Arena is one of those games that Sony is hyping. It's kind of the aside from Farpoint, it's one of those like next bigger thing games. I think a lot of it's done in-house by them, and it looks cool. I mean, it's a multiplayer shooty game, but they've just confirmed that it is going to have also a quote big single-player campaign. So Starblood just got way more interesting to me. I play multiplayer, but honestly, in VR, I could give a fuck less. I play VR for immersion and to be by myself. I want to be in my own head, quite literally. Keegan, I'm sure, big fan of this idea in multiplayer, but I like games that are going to be multiplayer to at least attempt a single-player campaign. Titanfall 2, let's be honest, that did so much better for the fact that they added an awesome single-player campaign to it. I mean, it's still a great multiplayer, but I can enjoy the multiplayer more knowing that I get to practice in this awesome single-player campaign. I feel pretty good about it. I like the story, and it makes me want to play the multiplayer more, as opposed to just throwing me in that world and being like, there's other ships, shoot them. So there might be a personal preference, but yeah, it's kind of cool to hear that one of the bigger game releases, Starblood Arena, is going to get a big single-player campaign to go with it. So with that being said, that's a quick roundup on all of your VR news. Sorry Keegan's not here to bounce off funny things with me. It's literally just going straight down the line of news this week. He'll be back, of course, next week. But you can get to enjoy Keegan shimmying around in front of a TV screen for your viewing pleasure, because he's about to jump into Rez Infinite gameplay-wise for you guys to enjoy. So if you're listening at home, thank you for listening in. Thank you for paying attention. If you're watching, hi, how are you? And stay tuned, because you're about to see Keegan playing Rez Infinite.
All right. So welcome to Rez Infinite. Rez Infinite is a game that is available in and without VR. However, it is kind of renowned for having... Sorry, that's the controllers vibrating on us here. It is renowned for having some of the best VR, experience-wise out there. And there's one particular part of this game which we're not showing you in this demo because we want to save it for you if you fancy picking it up. There's 5 main levels and then an area called Area X. And Area X is supposed to blow your mind. So how are you feeling so far?
It's a bit weird. Like, so I can do two things.
Uh-huh.
One, I can fire with, or I can. Oh, here we go.
So yeah, you can just use your head, or you can use the move controllers.
Well, it gets off center. Like when I do this, it goes off center. Then my head comes. So if I don't have the move controller, I'm fine.
I find myself doing that more often, honestly, just using my head as opposed to using the move controllers. But sometimes the move controllers are nice for like micro adjustments.
Is that killing me? I think that killed me. How do I avoid that? Like I don't know how to move.
Shoot
Literally
things.
don't have to move.
Shoot all the
You keep
things.
telling me my controllers go out of the frame of the camera.
Well, just keep them in front of you, but keep them steady. And then just use your head for the majority of it. That's kind of what I was doing.
I do like this whole beat thing.
Yeah, so the idea is that when you're playing Rez, for those of you that played it on like the PS2 and stuff, that essentially your shooting becomes part of the beat almost, and you create this kind of trance song that is rhythmic if you're shooting things in kind of orderly fashion. And then
swing side to side.
once you get this box going here, then it makes this cool sort of like 10, 9, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh god, I'm vibrating. Oh Jesus.
All right. So you hold down the fire button, and then you can highlight up to 8 enemies at a time, and then let go at the same time. That might help you out a touch.
Yeah.
And that means that as it gets later into the game, you start getting enemies that
I like
are
the music. I'm not gonna lie.
that are multiple. Then it helps you out a little bit. But it's a really bizarre game. As you play and as you get better, your character grows like more, I guess, realistic, or more like into a real person as opposed to a collection of polygon blocks. And then as you get hurt, you kind of deteriorate and go back more into polygon. So that's if you're wondering if you're doing well or not, the more human-like you're getting, the better you're doing. And of course, the soundtrack is fucking ace. So
4, 1. I'm a drummer, so I'm counting the beats in my head.
is it helping you fire?
Yeah. It is throwing off my hand, looks I'm bouncing.
But there's the other cool thing about Rez, which I really enjoy, are the boss fights are quite magnificent.
Oh, that messed with my stomach right there.
Oh, the sideways turn?
Yeah. I don't know what that was about that, but that was the sideways turn, but like the transition there, whatever that hell that was.
The spacey feel is kind of cool. The more out of it you are, the more fun it is. But like I said, the Area X place, which you have to get through all 5 levels to get to Area X as an option, is supposedly one of the most transcendent like VR experiences you can get. Me personally, I haven't found my way there yet. I'm super excited to get there, but I kind of wanted to give you the experience of
Dude, this is like
trying to get through these
very
earlier
well
levels.
done.
You dig it?
Yeah.
It's a pricey game. It's usually $30. It does go on sale from time to time, which is how I picked it up. I picked it up when it was on sale.
The only issue I have currently is the move controller interacting with my head. Like, I feel like I should one or the other, not both.
Yeah, it is a bizarre experience. Like, I tried doing it with the moves, and it didn't really work out as good as using my head, so I ended up just using my head.
If I put the controllers behind me, I can just do this.
It gets mad at you, though. But if you just keep them, like... I just kept them kind of in front of me, and I was using them like maracas to the music, just shaking them around.
See, it works, because I can still hit the body, or the button, they just still have that menu up there.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like that. Oh, I don't like that.
See how you're becoming more like, you have like more of a bone structure now?
Yes.
Your character?
How far does it take to get to the, oh, Jesus, that was huge. To the boss. Is that a boss?
No. You'll know. That's all I'll say. The bosses in this game are quite spectacular in size. I know the bosses for levels 2 and 3 were very, very impressive from my playthrough that I had earlier. And you do have some other like bonuses you can build up as well, like overdrive and things like that. Those do require you to actually press buttons on the move controller, so that's one that does come in handy a little bit. So far, you're...
I like so when you hit the box, it counts it down when you hit it, so it goes 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. I don't like those oh god, those transitions, they make my stomach go for a loop every time.
I like that though. It's kind of like a little buzz every time you're playing, like every time you transition.
Well, Tom, I don't do drugs.
You are doing a drug right now. It's called Rez Infinite. But you're, all in all, aside from the weird stomach drops here and there,
Yeah,
you're quite
other than
enjoying
those parts right there, I don't like. Like when he gets back to the mode, I'm fine. I really enjoy like this whole beat aspect thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like rhythm games are. I feel like rhythm games are both the best and worst games ever. Because like, I feel like rhythm games get a bad rep because all you think of is like really shitty rhythm games. But like this is implemented really well with how it's done. I kind of wish the positioning of the enemies went better with the beat. Instead of just like being a line, like they should be like do, like make you do a beat when you hit them.
Right.
That would be a little bit cooler, but I'm enjoying myself. The minimalistic background I kind of like the whatever the hell you want to call I'm in right now, the Matrix. It's kind of cool.
There's definitely some interesting locales.
I'm trying to figure out if this goes with the beat or not. Where? I don't see any. Oh, I was like, I don't see anybody. Yeah, having the once you told me that I could lock on, it makes it a little bit easier.
Yeah, for sure. There's lots of times when you have groups of enemies, and it just makes your life so much easier being able to highlight 8 of them at a time.
Like that. You just go across
you got
it.
Yeah.
That was cool.
I'd like anyone who's watching the stream right now to pay close attention to the camera and see just how jiggy the Keegan is getting with this game. It's kind of awesome.
Uh-oh. Oh. I'm now surfing. Initialized. Oh.
Looks like a boss to me.
Is it? Oh. Oh, God. Oh. Ooh, stomach. We're good.
Alright, time
Oh,
to
this is
sucker
cool.
open.
So I can, like, push the buttons, or I can just hold it and lock, which I kind of like.
So you're trying to get those green things out, but pay attention to these, like, tentacles that are coming for you, too.
You mean like those things?
Yeah, exactly. Isn't it kind of awesome visually, though?
Dude, I don't know what I'm trying to hit, though, right now. I'm trying to, like, avoid the tentacles, but
Try
I'm
and
trying
hit
to
anything green.
Ow, something hit me, I think.
Yeah, you're back to polygons. It's bad news bears.
I like this. The sound, like, the sounds in this game they did right.
Mm-hmm. Remember, the green tips on the end of the tentacles, you want to hit them so they go away. There you go. You're getting it. And then go for the green on the thing when you get it right. You're getting it.
There we go. That is my favorite part right there when the cube comes up, just because the sound is wonderful.
And you're not usually a dance music fan either.
You don't know me.
I know you well enough to know you're not usually a dance music fan.
Uh-oh. I feel like I should be able to get a different camera angle than what I have to get those, because that looked like it was behind me.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
I love it when it does that. Come on, you can do it. Nice little wheel situation. Watch for the spiky thing.
Oh, God. I didn't see that.
So it's kind of hard to appreciate when you're watching at home and you see spiky thing when you you're seeing Keegan just like spazzing out and jumping all over the place on your screen. But
the music that like
the music definitely gets you into
when
it.
you hear the audio, it makes a lot more. Oh, I got hit myself. Oh, did I kill it?
I think you killed it.
Yeah, it makes a lot more sense when you have it with the music. Ooh, that was great.
Sweet.
Area 1, log out.
You want to do one more? You up for it?
Oh, Jesus, hold on. I don't like that.
You don't like the little shoot through?
No. Woo! Where's my... Do I get something in here?
You're just at the end of the thing, so you should be able to move on to level 2 here shortly.
Oh, it's fading. There it goes.
There you go. So you would go to area 2. Do you want me to do it since I have the controller?
I can do it. What's TV mode? So what was my score? 100% shot down, support item 77%. So is that artist? I'm guessing the music.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know. All right, go ahead. Try Area 2, then we'll call it after 2.
Area 2 login.
Get ready to get.
I
funky.
feel like I'm not. Oh God.
you were not.
I'm
prepared.
not balanced at all.
No.
I don't know. There's. Dude, when you get into it though, it helps. Oh God. Oh God. That escalated quickly.
Remember, you can hold down.
Oh, I can rotate. So I'm spin. Okay, so I can spin around.
Aesthetically, it's very enjoyable. The music is very enjoyable. The
Oh, my wall just came
the
in
kind
on
of, I want to say the vibes, and I know that's like a weird thing to discuss when you're talking about how good a video game is, but honestly, like, you just get this kind of awesome vibe and feel from playing this game.
It reminds me
especially
of
with the
like
headset.
Hollow Ball. Like I got so into Hollow Ball because the music. It just shows you how well, sound design affects gameplay experience. Because as you know, I'm very much a gameplay over graphics kind of guy. Because let's be honest, graphics in this game are not going to win any awards anytime soon for like complexity of them. But they're beautiful.
Yeah, the aesthetic is unique, and it works particularly well in this game.
I kind of wish the walls would like bounce to the beat, or like the floor, like with the waves they have there.
Right.
I really don't like the transitions. My stomach's just like nope. Other than that, though, the game's oh Jesus.
Is it? Would you say it's hard?
No, it's not hard per se.
Just takes a little bit of getting used to.
Yeah, once you get like, once I got rid of the, oh, I gotta shoot this. Once I got like put the controllers behind me, I'm fine. Having both this controller there, having the moves out of the way, kind of suck. What am I shooting at? Okay. There's just a lot to take in. I don't think it's hard. It's so you know how when we played Dex, I complained because the controls got in the way of that. This does not. This feels super natural to play. I know what I'm doing. It's just making sure I look around at everything that I like, quote unquote, need to take on.
Yeah.
But like this with these shields bringing up and the shoot stuff.
So the difficulty does tend to ramp up quite significantly.
Oh, yeah.
By the end of the third area, I was definitely struggling to keep my bearings. Although you look like you're doing pretty good right now. Your figure is getting the skeletal structure, which is good. It means you're doing good.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely getting harder than what it was, but I don't think it's gotten to the point where I'm like, oh my god yet.
Remember, you're only on level 2.
I know. That's what I'm saying though. Like I feel like it's a good progression of like it definitely is harder than the first one.
Right.
But it's not to where I'm like overwhelmed, which I'm sure it's gonna be on the way.
The boss, if I remember, is particularly good in this area. I just like boss fights. I think that's something that's so
Oh, I don't like
in a lot of games these days.
I think I know what makes me queasy is those side movements on that. Like when it shuffles to the side like that, that's what gets me. Nope, don't shoot me. Nope. Nope. So yeah, so a lot of it I feel like is just keeping your eye out for what's coming at you.
Uh-huh.
2-1. There it goes. Again, just kind of keeping your bearings of what is happening and knowing like, okay, I shot that came next, this is next.
You start to learn the enemies too, so like, you know, the shield ones when they show up, you gotta try and take them out before they blow their shield out, or you have to take the shield out before you can take them down. Like these guys.
Oh god, like this guy shoots this thing.
Their little buddies with them. Yeah, you have to take these guys out pretty quick, otherwise they come up. Looks like you're still doing okay though. I like that the way they show you how your health is doing is based upon the physicality of your character as opposed to any kind of, you know...
The bar?
Just,
yeah, initially... Oh, God. I was initially looking for a health bar.
Yeah.
I did not see one, so...
Nah, you just gotta see how your character's looking, which is an interesting aesthetic.
I do like that I can lock and load and unload, and then lock and load and unload again.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's very quick with how quickly I can go back in and unload on things. Oh, God.
Doesn't feel unfair at all. I like those wheelie things.
Oh, so you ride the curve. Okay, so you're riding that light. It's good to know. Oh, Jesus.
Your character's looking pretty awesome right now.
My what?
Your character?
Oh, yeah. Because I know what I'm doing, Tom. Duh.
It's starting to go, like, alien-y.
I wonder how far you can go. Like, what's the character look like in the end? Like,
sure,
is this like max health?
This looks pretty close to it. I mean, you're pretty much fully
I'm
filled out.
pretty much character at this point.
I don't really know the history of Rez in terms of, like, the story, like, what are you and why are you floating through and shooting these random things. I kind of wish I knew that. I mean, not that it would really matter because it's still fun either way, but I feel like there could be a very interesting story to this game that we're missing.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Here we go. Final boss time. Well, final boss of the second level. Which is appropriate. Oh, I like this one.
Oh, that was weird. That was cool looking, but that was weird. That's not what I expected it to do.
I call it the killer flower.
Oh, I'm inside of it. I'm definitely off beat now with my attacks. Oh, it's rotating. That threw a curve.
Is this something you would pick up for yourself?
Probably. How long? Like, the question would be, how long is the game? How many? Is it just the 4 worlds or whatever?
Well, the levels are like 10 to 15 minutes a level. I think they get a little longer as you go in, and then you have that area X. So there is a high level, I feel, of replayability, just for like score's sake and things like that. But also that area X is an experience more so than these kind of levels are. So it's a pretty big reward for making it through the 5 levels here. But it's definitely not a huge game by any stretch of the imagination.
Is that his health bar?
Yeah.
So I've done nothing to him yet.
I mean, you're getting there slowly. But it's... It's definitely something you really have to kind of experience for yourself, so...
It is such a cool... I mean, it's such a cool concept, I'm not gonna lie. Like... What do we got going on? Like, I thoroughly am enjoying myself with this, between the music and everything else. Oh god, what is happening here? Oh, Jesus. Oh, okay. Keep up, keep up.
You definitely can't lapse concentration.
Ah, damn it. I lost a lot of health there, I feel like.
Yeah, you're back to skeleton. You can do it.
Can I shoot them before they... Okay, I can.
Yeah.
Again, it's kind of like trying to figure out what's first and what's next. And you're like, okay, attack this, attack that. Like, which one of these are going to pop off at me first, and which ones do I need to attack, which ones do I go after that. Can I get my Skelly Man back, please? I like having health. Here we go. Die, bitch!
It's interesting.
Takes a lot of hits.
Because I can't hear the music, I can instead hear your breathing patterns, and it's kind of interesting that you're like taking deep breaths in between certain things. Like you'll shoot a couple times and you'll take a deep breath, and you'll shoot and you'll take a deep breath. you gotta try and rinse him when you got him. Oh yeah. I'm kicking his ass a little bit here. Let me get some shots off.
What?
Try and get some shots off. You have him on the fences here. On the ropes.
Oh, I know. I got him. No worries. Oh, I should probably blow that up first. I got this, Tom. Don't worry.
I think you got him. Yay!
Boom!
Well, he's doing something.
Destroy. Oh, vibrations.
Nice job. Area 2
That seemed a
log
lot
ahead.
easier than it should have been. I'm just that awesome now. Oh.
Shut down 96%. Support item 68.
Yeah.
Sweet.
It did some things.
All right. So that is Rez Infinite for standard use and also PSVR. There is a physical version of this you can get, but you can only get it from one location. I want to say it's like 8-bit gaming or something. There's some special company that cut a deal. You can get it physically, but you either had to pre-order it a very, very long time ago, or you have to go direct to that particular website that has a special edition version. Otherwise, you're going to pick it up digitally on the PSN store for around the $30 mark. You may want to wait for a sale because, as we said, longevity, it's up for debate. But it is a lot of fun. Agreed?
Yeah. Sorry, it's taking me a minute to get back.
You got a little bit of nausea going on?
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm burping. I think it's a combination of drinking that, the food I ate earlier, and then doing VR.
Combo deal.
Yeah. Don't eat before you VR.
All right. So
I liked it.
Final thoughts?
I liked it. I highly recommend it. Like you said, I probably would wait for a sale personally, but it's a lot of fun. The beats, all that kind of stuff, I love it. I think the next time I probably would just play with the controller because I feel like these didn't do anything.
Right.
It felt weird. So
there you go.
I enjoyed it. Just put them behind your back and play.
So thanks a lot for watching Level 2 VR this week. Hope you enjoyed the news section. Hope you enjoyed the gaming section. And as always, guys, welcome to the second level. Bye.
It ain't no game, but they saying welcome to the second level.